The great thing in a community is that we get vision. We understand much more of what is possible. We raise our capacity and we can have best practices and also shared resources. And this is wonderful because this is for God's kingdom development. And it's such a great way that we can collaborate together. Such an introduction, I think I can sit down and put the recording back. So I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity and thank you for the organizers. We love Prague. One is sorry she cannot be here this time, but I'm very happy we can join and meet again in this great EGCC family and with so happy cheer givers. And I always feel encouraged and blessed to be part of this community. And I'm so glad that today I can share a little bit about our story of generosity and how God shaped our heart and shift a little bit from profit-driven to faith-driven and generosity-driven. And it's been an amazing journey for us. I'm married with Duana. We do business in Romania, more businesses, and we started absolutely from scratch in 2006. I come from a family of farmers. My parents were farmers, and my dad wanted me to be a farmer, but I didn't really like the hard work in farming, so I chose a different path. I started the idea of business in marketplace, selling vegetables together with my grandma. And there I saw her being generous. She was always giving more than needed. And I was asking her why, because yes, we could got more money. And she said, no, it's very important. The customer should be very happy and they will come back. So my father had a business in agriculture and he went bankrupt in Romania in the 90s because it was crazy times and nobody gave us too much education about business and going from a complete communism time to freedom and capitalism was not very easy and it was very direct. And he was very good in production, but he was not very good with financials. And then for me, it was, okay, I like business, but still it's a little bit dangerous. You can lose everything you have. And always my father was saying, okay, take care. It's important not to have too many employees or too many expenses. Always look in your pocket, see how much money you have, and then define what you want to do. And it was this limited, poor mentality coming back from communism time. I grew up in Romania just after communism. I was 5 years old at the revolution, and really it was totally different times than today. When I look back in Romania in 30 years, we can see such a big change that freedom brought. And the biggest challenge for me was I had to grow up in a country where we didn't have really too many models. The persons that entered into business, also Christians or others, they really didn't respect the rules. And it was very easy to have some friends in politics and make a lot of money very fast and very quick. And it was always, if you are a good business person, then for sure you are involved in different illegal activities. And still, I was passionate about business and I wanted to get involved. I was very happy in university to meet Juana, and together we decided to get married, and we put on the paper a lot of dreams. And I made many promises before getting married, and I'm very grateful for her help and support because we make a great team together. I have many ideas, but she's the one that really helped us implement and go into execution and really have the results. And we started in university time. We started to work for a water drilling company. And we used to produce drilling pipes for industry. And it was a great opportunity. The owners were Christians, and they invited me and my wife Juana to join their business. We were 4 persons when we entered the business, and because the market was such in a need for this type of water, we grew in 2 years from 4 people to 50 people, from 0 to some millions of euros sales. And for us, it was a great opportunity because we had the opportunity to learn directly in other person's business. And I was involved with marketing and sales, and Juana was involved with financials and accountability. And we learned a lot. But we also learned how success can go up to your head. And these persons that we really, they were really mentors for us. After they start making a lot of money, their heart started to change a little bit. First, they changed the cars, and then the houses, and then the friends, and then they started not to keep their promises anymore to the providers and to the customers. And after the best year, so after the best year in history, just in 6 months, they went bankrupt. And for me, that was such a big lesson, because I learned that money and success can corrupt your heart. And for me, it was such, we worked there from morning till evening, every day, like in our own business, and we cared so much for that business. And for us, it was very difficult to understand, how is this possible? And then it was opportunity for a new beginning, because together with my wife, we were unemployed in Cluj-Napoca. We already were married, so we said, okay, we have the opportunity to go and get a job. I finished computer science, and already IT was a good industry in Cluj-Napoca. And I said, maybe we should search for a job. But during the time in the water drilling company, I saw the opportunity for heavy machinery in Romania. I had to buy equipment from Germany and UK, and I saw the big difference. In Romania, we needed to build roads and infrastructure, and there were not so many equipment. And I said, maybe we can bring some of that equipment and to build the country much faster and better. So from an idea, we said, okay, let's kick-start a new adventure. We started in our own apartment. At the beginning, I was the only employee, and then after a time, I convinced Juana to join. We started absolutely from scratch. Many people in Romania had this belief that you need to have money in order to start a business, or you need to have friends, or you need to come from a rich family in order to start a business, or you need some high education in business schools. But we didn't have any of those. Yeah, of course, in Romania, if the market is not developed, then also you can start, and it's easy because you don't have so much competition. And we start with selling second-hand equipment, importing from Germany. It took us 2 years to sell the first machine. Every day we were working hard, calling customers, going and presenting offers, and everything stopped when they asked, okay, how can we buy this? And I was telling, okay, you have to pay, and then we bring you the machine. And they said, no, we cannot pay in advance. If you deliver the machine and we like it, then we will pay for it. So I had this big challenge. I had the idea, I saw the opportunity in the market, but I really didn't know how to bring that equipment in Romania. So I went to the bank, I made a very nice business plan, a pitch to the bank, and I said, look, I need 50,000 euros to start my business. And then they said, okay, how can you guarantee? I said, I cannot guarantee, it's my first business. No, not a chance. So back then there were not so many angel investors and marketplace for businesses, and it was very difficult. In that time, we really had not many options. So we just paid a down payment for our apartment before we got married. And during that time, because we had no money, we lost the apartment, we lost the down payment, and it was something like 35,000 euros. And for us, it was all the money from the family, from the grandparents, from everything we've worked until that day. And when we lost that, then I had some questions, because before that, I was not upset that people did not encourage me in business. And I was not upset that my parents did not encourage me, but when we lost the apartment, I really had that inner questions that said, okay, Ruben, what are you doing here? Who do you think you are? Why are you trying to do something new that it's not existing in the market? Maybe it's time to go and get a nice job in IT and make some money, and it will be good for you. So I was very, very blessed to have Juana beside me that really believed that we can do this. And she was really near me in all this time, even if we lost the apartment, we moved in rent. And also the relation with God was very important because I knew that God was there. And even if we will do the business or not, he was the same. So I put a date, a deadline. This was happening in July, and I said, okay, I will do this until the end of the year, and if this is not happening, then we will get a job. And in 22 of December that year, being the customer, asking the same questions, having the same answers, he said, okay, it was an excavator, and he said, okay, where do we sign? And I didn't even have the stamp. Back then in Romania, we had to stamp the contracts. And I didn't have the stamp with me because I believed this is over. I was looking forward to start a new year. So I said, okay, I will be back. And I went home, I brought the stamp, and we signed the first contract. And that was such an encouraging experience for me because we saw that it's not about us. It was not that we did something great. We had no other alternative, but it was God behind all this. So from second hand, in time, we went in through new equipment, and now we represent. We have 5 business units in heavy machinery and construction, in agriculture. We have a special division of parts and attachments, and also rental. And we are now in scaling phase in all over Romania. And our dream and vision is to go and have an impact in emerging countries, because we believe that through business we can have such a big impact in countries maybe where values are a challenge, maybe business ethics is a challenge, and being a real disciple of Jesus is a challenge in many countries, but they are open to business. So we believe that God can use the business to go in other countries. So we have this on our heart to inspire business people to make a change for the betterment of society. And I'm so grateful for our team. We could not do all this without a great team that we have. And from last year, was last year we doubled the team, and we are in scaling phase now. When I entered business, after the very hard part, when we started to have some results, maybe 5 years after, I really started to like the benefits of being a businessman in Romania, and all the friends around that had the business were having nice cars and nice vacations, and it's important, in Eastern European countries where we had communism, everybody was the same, so you cannot be different. And then when we have business and you can be different, you like to have the special cars, the special clothes, everything to be special, you want to be unique. And we enter also in this game a little bit, even if I knew what money and success can do. And this was because I was taking the value from my performance. I believe that if I do good in business, then I'm a valuable person. And I entered into this game, maybe coming from a small city in northwest of Romania, on the border with Hungary, and going in a big city, you want to prove yourself. You want to show, look, what I can do. And then business gives you a nice stage to prove yourself, to have some results, and to you can brag about and talk about. And it was interesting game because it gives you some satisfaction, but on the other side, you can never be happy because you're always in comparison with somebody else. And this comparison was very, very difficult for me. I was working very hard from morning till evening. I was thinking only about business. All the books were about business, all the meetings about business, all the movies about business. And even without knowing, business became an idol for me. That gave me satisfaction, gave me identity. And Timothy Keller said that idols are a good thing usually, but if they become the ultimate thing, they risk to take the God's place in our hearts. And this happened with me in business. And a question that changed my heart was in a leadership training in Maui, in Hawaii, at Hagai. And there a facilitator asked, if you would meet Jesus today, what would you ask him? And then he gave us 5 minutes. I wrote 2 pages of all my dreams and objectives about business. Where do we want to be, vision, everything very clear, very detailed. I'm grateful that we didn't have to read it in front of the others. Others wrote very nice things about God, ministry, their wives. It was, yeah. But then I realized that I have a problem. I was obsessed. I was very focused on only one thing in my life, and I was missing so much. And then I realized that it was not a good road to go anymore. Because really, God was so generous with me and with us, and He gave us everything. And everything that needed to be proven was proven already by Jesus on the cross. And then I was in a game that even if I knew I was a Christian, I was going to church, I was a giver, and I was involved in different ministries, in board of organizations. But I was in this game of proving and trying to have the value. And then I really realized that Jesus did that already, and He did it perfectly, and there's nothing else that I can add there. So I realized that I need more clarity in my life, and I need to focus on the important things. So it was very good, because after I came home, I started to ask myself questions and to try to understand where I'm coming from, where do I want to go, why I'm doing, how this it's aligned with God's calling for my life, and how can we integrate faith and work together. So it was really a process. It was not something direct, but I realized there can be something more than business and profit. So I understood that entrepreneurship, it's a calling. It was not for me to be great or to make a lot of money. It was a calling from God to be involved in what He's already doing, and to be involved in already what He's doing in the world. And it's such a great opportunity that God invites us to work together to transform the world around us. And a big challenge for me was integrate faith and work. For me, it was separate, maybe also coming from the background in Romania, where some things are more holy. Being involved in church ministry is much more holy than being in business. And it was very difficult to see, okay, how can we align things together, to align the mandate that we got at creation, and also the Great Commission to make disciples. And I understand that our mission was to make disciples of Jesus, to be and make disciples of Jesus Christ. But I didn't know exactly understand how can we integrate this with business. So I understood that it's much more than money. Before I was giving money, but I understood that God was calling us to give our experience, our gifts, our influence, to put it all together. So then, together with my friend Daniel Lar from Cluj, we started a community 5 years ago where we help business leaders to have a higher purpose for their life, to grow personally, spiritually, and professionally. And we organize all kinds of breakfast meetings, and we organize retreats for them. And after we create the relation with them, we invite them in a spiritual context. We share their story of God and other materials. And it's such a great blessing to see people that were not at all interested about faith, how they become a disciple of Jesus and are in the process of making other disciples now. Another moment important for me was a journey of generosity, a jog, where this mindset of being a steward, not an owner, changed a lot in me, because I really could understand we can be more relaxed as stewards, much more relaxed than an owner. So it's much better, and we can take much better decisions. So we started to give as a company. Before we were givers individuals, but then we decided, no, we can give as a company. And we started with 10% of the profit, but we want to grow this in time. And also we want to leave the company as a legacy for a foundation in the future that will invest further in Great Commission, in education, and next generation in emerging countries. And all this was with the great help of the community of givers, inspired by your model here, together with Emmanuel and Bianca. We started in Romania to gather people together. And this was a great help for us, because it helped us be strategic also in giving, not only in making money. So it was a completely game changer for us. This is the photo from Moldova that Emmanuel told about. And this is a photo from a marketplace that we had together with EGCC. The great thing in a community is that we get vision. We understand much more of what is possible. We raise our capacity and we can have best practices and also shared resources. And this is wonderful because this is for God's kingdom development. And it's such a great way that we can collaborate together. So now we in Romania, for us, it's important to build an ecosystem. We need to have a vision for our nation and for countries around in Eastern Europe. We understand how important is collaboration and to be united to collaboration and to help and support givers, to raise capacity and to develop a movement from this. Because at the end, it's such important, what do we want to leave behind? And I really believe that as givers, we can have such a big impact in society by contributing with all our money, influence, resources, with everything that God has given us. And if God was so generous, then so can we. So thank you.